If you want to check out the cubes that I have built, you can find them on Cube Cobra through the link in the description below to PleasantKenobi. And we are pack one, pick oneing and drafting them via Draft Monster on my Discord, which you can get to via Patreon. There's a link to Patreon down below too. And if you want to buy cards in the North American Peninsula, you can go to coolstuffinc.com, use the code Kenobi at checkout and get 5% of your order to help support the show. It's vintage cube time, baby! It's not even the most popular content on my channel by a long shot, but it's my channel and I'll cube if I want to. We did not open power. We do get a Stoneforge Mystic and a Luminarch Aspirant, which are pretty good in the white weenie deck. We can go for a PO sort of card draw. Hexdrink is also very good in the aggro. I think Zagoth Triome is probably the safest in terms of like keeping ourselves open, because it's not necessarily those three colors, but it opens those colors in generally to us. Also a big fan of how much like currency converter allows you to fuck about by making treasures and rogues. I've also yet to play with Carnage Interpreter, so I'm tempted to take this and then like wheel Goldspan or Detective for the red deck. Goldspan being a bit expensive for the mono red deck. But yeah, I don't think Detective Phoenix is up on people's picks. I'm going to take Carnage Interpreter as a new approach, a new attempt at something. Our next pack, we've got Rampaging Raptor in the red deck at 4 mana. Blazing Mire is red-black, which obviously fixes our colors to be in red-black. Reanimate's pretty hot. Obviously, Carnage Interpreter does discard your entire hand, then you investigate 4 times, and it gets more powerful if you are Hellbent or close to Hellbent. So Reanimate is a thing we can do off the back of Carnage Interpretator. Carnage Interpreter. So I think I'm going to take Reanimate because its Raw Dog just so much more powerful than Rampaging Raptor. Obviously, we want to reanimate things like Archon of Cruelty, which we're passing. Yeah, that's probably how hot the pack is. Bonus to Sitter is obviously a great tinker target. There's a mana dock here. I'm going to take Reanimate and see where we get to with this. My beverage of choice right now is a nice hot latte with creamy, silky milk. It's more of a flat white, I'd say, actually, that I've just made with my new coffee machine. I am on a coffee hype train right now. This pack is looking bad for Reanimator and bad for mono red. I guess we can take Interaction in the form of Dismember. Mana Drain is obviously one of the best cast spells in the queue if we end up in blue, but we're pretty far from that at this point in time. Talent Gate does do a bit of fixing, as does Sunken Ruins. I think we're taking Dismember here, which is a bit unexciting. Next up, we've got Atali to reanimate. We've got no ways to... Well, we'll draw discard, actually, ends up Relic of Sauron, but I think we take Atali because it's just such a good reanimation and like cheat out target here. The rest of the pack would love to wheel Relic of Sauron. Shield is also pretty damn good. Darkslick Shards if we go into Grixis, and Probe's also fine. So we've got a few things we can wheel. What we're really looking for is some shooters and some card selection. So your Faithless Looting is the light for card selection. And as far as shooters are concerned, we've got like, you know, just typical shooters like Demonic Shooter, for example, but we'd also take Entomb, which puts things in the bin. Metamorphosis Fanatic is a new one from the Dustmon Commander decks. It's 6 mana, 4/4 lifelink. When it enters, return up to 1 target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a lifelink counter on it, and it has Miracle. We are slammer jamming this into our deck. We are picking up 2 solid reanimation spells here. Reanimate and Metamorphosis Fanatic being probably 2 of the better ones in the cube. You can even reanimate Metamorphosis Fanatic to then trigger and reanimate something else with a lifelink counter on it. What's better than an Atali? Maybe an Atali with lifelink. I've only just realized that Carnage Interpreter, which is, by the way, it's from the Cluedo box. That's where this card comes from. It's got a detective hat on. I didn't realize it was a devil detective. It's kind of funny in isolation, but in context of the whole set, it does make me just roll my eyes and sigh, right? This pack has a Wishclaw Talisman, which is not the kind of shooter we really want because it allows them to go and get their answers to our fatties. Abhorrent Oculus is a card that you can reanimate, and obviously if you're filling your yard, you can recast. Firebolt was Interaction. Creeping Target's pretty good if we're in blue-black, if we do end up in a Grixis pile. I think I'm going to take Firebolt. If we somehow have to pivot hard into the mono red deck, it's fine. And besides that, if we're in red-black and we need to like kill a Thalia or a Scavenging Ooze or just something, this gives us some form of interaction. We have 2 interaction spells there. This pack's pretty sweet. We can hate draft this Ghost Vacuum, but bearing in mind we're in leagues here, which means we're not playing in the same pod. We're drafting our deck and playing into other pods as well. So if this was a single limb queue and we were playing in pod, I'd think about hate drafting the vacuum a lot more because it's so good against our reanimation plan. We've got an on-color fast land. We've got an one-color off sack land to draw cards. And then over here's a Voldaren Epicurist, which is a 1 mana 1/1 that deals 1 damage to opponent and creates a blood token, which is a discard draw, which is pretty good for us. It's quite low power level though, and we're not utilizing the discard in like the discard part of the aggro deck, nor the artifact synergy. So I think just a red-black land that can help us cast our spells is more important here. And then in this pack, we've got Tribal Flames, just for like the zoo domain sort of archetype that's in the cube. Fire, another piece of interaction is fine. Everything else here is kind of bad for us. This is another card that I consider hating if we were playing in cube. And then Bonehorde Dragonstorm is a 5-mana 5/5 first strike. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile top card of your library. You may play them this turn. If you exiled a land card this way, create a 3/1 red dinosaur creature token. If you exile a non-land card this way, create a treasure. It's a perfectly reasonable mid-range thing. I think I just cut this from my cubes. I didn't like it very much. And we've wheeled the Goldspan Dragon. Now, Goldspan's also fine as a mid-rangey thing. We need some ramp to really play these 5-drops in a vintage cube. Ledger Shredder is actually perhaps a hedge if we do go into Grixis, because Ledger Shredder allows us to connive, which allows us to basically look to put things from our library into the bin and not draw Italics and get to our filter spells. I don't think I'm playing Goldspan Dragon in our deck, so I'm going to take the Ledger Shredder in case we go into blue, but I don't know if we are. We've got red-black land there, and we've also got a load of blue spells if we do end up in blue. I just spilled some coffee on me if you heard that on mic. Brainstorm's quite nice for setting up the Metamorphosis Fanatic. I'm going to take the Brainstorm. These might be in our sideboard, to be honest. And our last pick will be a Thought Scour, because I don't really want a Molten Collapse, and Talongate's not that good in our deck. We'll take the Walking Ballista because it's playable. I'm not excited by it. And there's Ketramose, which is if we end up in like red, white, black, does stuff whenever one or more cards are put into exile from your graveyard. So, or from the battlefield. And sure, Lingering Souls if we end up in that, and Fire Blast. Okay, I'm not going to lie, in the dregs of that pack, we picked up very little that we really want. Part of that was me like cutting blue to our next drafter, I guess. In the next pack, we've got a Relic, which again, we're not thinking about hate drafting anyway. Oliphant can go and find us a red-black land, like a Badlands or a Blood Crypt. A Grease Wrench Goblin. Part of the discard element of the aggro deck in this cube means that they are usable in our deck. Discard up to 2 cards and draw that many cards, put +1/+1 count this creature. Gives us a way to get rid of Itali or Metamorphosis Fanatic from our hand to reanimate it. We are looking for any more reanimation spells. Otherwise, we might be on some sort of more aggro deck with reanimate for value. Caustic Bronco does a Dark Confidant thing where it shoots your opponent for damage if we saddle it. So maybe playing that and saddling it off of smaller creatures might be okay. Red was very open, I think, with Fire Blast and Firebolt coming late. So we're gonna wheel these, and the Oliphant probably won't wheel. I'm gonna hit the Bronco. We need to not attack with it if we can't saddle it, because if we hit Itali, we take 7. And hopefully we wheel the Grease Wrench, Lethal Scheme, maybe the Relic. Pack 2, we've got Exhume, which is each player puts a card from their graveyard into play. So we've got to obviously maneuver into a situation where our opponent doesn't have something big in the bin as well. But it gives us another reanimation spell. On the wheel, I guess we'll look for Saheeli, Grimlarv Monster, or Death Creator's Champion. Grimlarv is fine in our deck. Death Creator's Champion's bad. Manifold Key maybe for if we open up a Time Vault later. Found a Nethergoyf. What else we got here? Island Mountain Plains. We've got a Yorg's Will / Crucible of World effect in this green spell here. Show and Tell could be another line that we take as well if we do end up in blue, but it's not looking likely. I think blue's cut out. Nethergoyf is just a versatile card for us. Then we've got Abrade, Arena of Glory to give haste. Inti, which is a discard spell. Colligan's Command, which is a great utility spell. And of course, the Library of Alexandria is very, very powerful. Also, drawing up to 7, discarding to hand size isn't a terrible place to be for Itali and such. I think I'm going to take the Library and hope to wheel the Inti or the Colligan's Command. That could be wrong. I haven't played Reanimate in a while. Luris isn't great here. Allows us to recast Nethergoyf, which isn't very exciting. Volcanic Island is a fetchable blue-red source if we want to go into this blue over here. Otherwise, it's Night's Whisper that I'm not very excited for. So I'm taking the Volk here in the hope that we find appropriate fetch lands for it to open up blue, off of fixing. We find Cabal Ritual, which isn't very exciting. Dam is a removal spell. Laelia is exiling stuff to our library, and if it's not the greatest card advantage thing, because obviously we hit a high costing thing before we got the mana, it doesn't do a lot. Red-white on the Athari, Sun's Glory. This pack's just bad for us. I think this is the straight up best card for us to take. Cabal Ritual could be something we could do to Ritual out of Metamorphosis Fanatic. Yeah, maybe that's the line here. We've got Legion Extruder and Bone Crusher Giant. Again, more removal. Nothing else for us. I think we take the Legion Extruder. I like that it's 2 mana, 2 damage, and then we can sack an artifact. Maybe actually just Bone Crusher Giant straight up better, because we're not really generating that many artifacts apart from Carnage Interpreter. Do you want to just plunder over, make us treasures, and shoot our opponent for the number of treasures they've got? Agatha's Soul Cauldron gives us some graveyard hate and some like sort of like nothing in our deck. The second bit where it gives abilities to our creatures will do nothing with what we've currently got. Let's go for the Plunderer. This deck is not shaping up. We are looking bad. Okay, we've got a Grease French Goblin, so we've got a way to discard cards there. We can connive off this. Now, we'll discard cards off this. We have Exhume and Reanimate, so we have 2 reanimation spells. So digging for those off the discard drawer and dumping off fatties in the bin is like a good thing. It sounds like an obvious statement. What I mean is like, we don't have any way to shoot things into the bin right now. So that's just a thing we can do, basically. Saheeli, Sublime Artificer, makes tokens. Or we've got like an aggro double striker. Or we've got a Grim Lavamancer. Just gives us the control angle. We don't need Delirium or Delve anywhere in our deck. Take Grim Lavamancer. This Island Mountain Plains might be playable in our deck if we end up playing blue. At the moment, we're not, obviously. 1 fetch land does open up our fixing pretty well, though. Obviously, Tarn being the best one. Actually, just any mountain one unlocks blue from these 2 lands. We got the Inti. It's a pretty good pickup. She discards cards. She gives us card advantage. She allows our package down here to be like aggro. Are we looking at aggro deck with a potential to reanimate stuff? Is that silly? It might be silly. Maybe we just cut like Fnatic, Atali, and the Exhume. Like, Athari's castable off the Rorgrin Triome or our treasures as well, so there is that. Okay, it's pack 3, and Sol Ring just presented itself, which isn't amazing with all the 1-drop, 2-drops we've got, but it's Sol Ring. It's probably the best card in the cube. I think sometimes it's debatable whether you take it over Lotus, but I think it's a reasonable card to take over Lotus. We're happy to wheel, like, I guess Chandra, Wheel of Fortune, maybe Goblin Bombardment. Everything else is a little bit meh. Snuff Out's pretty good too. As is Death, actually. So there's loads of good hits here. Let's take Sol Ring. Our next pack has a Fabled Passage. It has a Fabled Passage and Mana Vault. Sorry, I clicked the wrong card as I said that. Fabled Passage helps us to play blue. I don't think we need to play blue. I think it dilutes our deck and our plan. The cards we've got access to aren't worth going towards. So I guess we take Inquisition to give us some early game interaction there again. Next up we have Magda, which makes treasures. Beyond that we've got Reign of Filth, which allows us to sack lands to cast big things. That's not terrible. Dark Confidence is probably bad in our deck. We've already got a version of it with Caustic Bronco, which is a 2/2. But we really want to be saddling it to Bronco them, to Confident them instead of Confident us. So I guess Reign of Filth also allows us to, like, we can Reign of Filth to dump all the lands in the bin, then cast Cabal Ritual as well to get the Threshold online. So that's something. Yeah, let's take Reign of Filth. For an early Atali, we can do it for early Atali. Blood Crypt on colour. The Shortland's Edict we could wheel. If we don't wheel the Edict, we've got Sword of the Meek, I guess. I think we just Sawthop to Foundry. And this is still going round. We'll take the Blood Crypt. Maybe I should pay attention to that and just take one part of it if the other part's still going, you know? But, yeah, okay, so our deck is looking okay. We are, like, playing bodies and hitting them a little bit and then maybe making a tally. Maybe okay is an overstatement. Maybe our deck is a painful 5. But then again, maybe a 5 out of 10 is just okay. Recurring Nightmare. Okay. That's a magic card. As is Crab Abomination as well. Crabomination. We're going to wheel this. We're going to take Recurring Nightmare. We can like move our little ones around to get Atali and shit. We could do with another fatty, if I'm honest. We only have 1 true fatty. Next pack, we've got Unearth and we've got Shallow Grave. There's also a Marsh Flats, which doesn't fetch either. Well, Foothills also fetches our blue stuff. Or we can just take Bolt. Like, maybe being a red-black mid-range deck that sometimes makes Natali is the right way to go. The Marsh Flats, all the Foothills also fetches our Blood Crypt, so it does make our mana a bit better as well. Am I playing Bolt in this deck? Yeah, I think so. And then we've got Entomb. Okay, we've got the combo Entomb, Reanimate now. Still only on Natali as the real true fatty. We're going to wheel Liliana or Goblin Critter Maker or Glorybringer. Headliner Scarlet. Jesus Christ, are we really meant to... We're meant to be red-black aggro here, aren't we? I think we really are. Because this card, ETBs and the opponent's creatures just can't block. It's pretty mad. Fear of missing out's pretty good if we're like, you know, getting Delirium online and getting second combat. We can wheel that though. Okay. We took Headliner Scarlet. We got access to Death here, which will probably end up going. There's a Yorgwill, there's a Thopter Foundry. Which if we had got the blue fetch, I could have took this. To go with the sword that's probably going to come around as well if this is wheeling. Ulamog isn't a fatty for us, by the way, simply because it gets shuffled back in. We'll take Yorg's Will. We'll take Dark Confidant. We'll take Thornspire Verge, I guess. And we have red-black aggro deck playing Library of Alexandria. Do you just cut the library in these two and just play this? No, we play these because we've got Recurring Nightmare and shit too. We've got like a... If we can't get the aggro done, which is quite likely as we don't have that many aggro creatures. Crabomination. Alright then. When Crabomination enters, target opponent exiles top card of their library, card at random from the graveyard, and a card at random from their hand. You may cast a spell among them without paying their mana costs. Normally want to merge this from an artifact, but we're probably just going to reanimate it, to be honest. Okay, that's our third fatty. That's pretty good. It's kind of an Atali, but instead of getting like a card from each of our libraries, we get 3 cards from our opponent. It's pretty sweet. I think our deck looks fun. Carnage Interpreters and Headline Scarlets in the same deck as Atali and Crabomination is pretty funny. I don't think that necessarily translates to being good, but, you know, fun is fun, right? Fun is fun. Unearth. We should get value by reanimating all our little dudes too. Take the Shurikai as our last pick, and then let's build our deck. So there's our 16 land deck. Needs to cut 3 cards. We cut Dark Confidant because it's painful for us. I cut Tarfire and Firebolt, although they both go to face, so maybe that's like a reason to keep them around. Maybe Rain of Filth just isn't good. Yeah, we're going to cut Cabal Ritual and Rain of Filth and bring Firebolt and Tarfire in. We're not going to try and hardcast this stuff. They're going to get cheated out, right? Okay, let's give this a go. Let's give this a go. If you enjoy cubing and you want to see more cube content, make sure you interact with this video. It really helps to support the channel and get me to do more content like this. So like liking, commenting, sharing it with friends and so on. And if you really want to support the channel directly, you can go to patreon.com/PleasantKenobi. And for a couple of dollars a month, you get access to the Discord server where I'm trying to get more of a communal, like cube vibe on the go. So we're doing daily pack 1 pick 1s from various cubes, my own and other people's too. We're firing regular cube nights as well, using Draftmancer and Tabletop Simulator to run those. It's a good time, so give us a couple of dollars a month to help support the channel, and then come and play some cube with us. It's good stuff. We have won the die roll. We go first with our aggro deck that's looking to play Atali, and we drew the Atali. What are the chances? Turn 1 library though, let's give it a go. We can put Atali in the bin when we get to 8 cards at some point. Here's a library. We're going to pause in our draw step. We are the Library of Alexandria aggro deck that's looking to cast Atali. Will that work? I guess we'll find out soon. We've also got Removal Spell coming out of our arsenal, and we've got a Carnage Interpreter to allow us to do interesting things like discard our entire hand. We drew Exhume, we draw a card off our library, we play a mountain, and we Firebolt the Ocelot. On the upside, with Atali in hand, our Corset Bronco can't hit a 7-drop and dome us for 7. So that's some upside. They didn't play another creature, which is good for us. We draw up to 7. We draw up to 8. We can Exhume, but they'll get an Ocelot Pride, and Atali's in our hand, frustratingly. So maybe we discard to hand size here. No, we can discard to Carnage Interpreter later, but then we don't have access to the cards in hand either, right? Here's a Bronco. Let's not get too cute about it. Maybe we just need to play creatures, you know? They play another tap land, and they're Surveilling 1. Play an Everflowing Chalice for 1. Ramping over here. When untrap and draw up to 7, drawing Reanimate now. We really need to find a way to discard cards. I guess hand size is the right way to do it. We're going to draw a card. We drew Grim Lavamancer. We're going to go to combat attack, trigger Bronco, reveal a Swamp, hit them for 2 down to 18, play a Swamp. We're still got 8 cards now. We're going to go to discard to hand size. We'll discard Atali. We're going to entomb the Megamorphosis guy and then reanimate the Megamorphosis guy to bring back the Atali next turn. That is the plan. They're going to Palace Shield on my Bronco from the looks of things. Okay. You're the king now, my friend. You're the king now. Let's cast Entomb. Let's get the Fanatic. There's slightly bad timing because if they actually have a 1 mana way to interact with this, they can cast it. We should also do it on their ends. The green source. Nothing from them though. Okay. We're going to draw a Dismember. Not great into the Palace Shield. It doesn't really matter because they'll still... To get the creature back underneath, we have to become the Monarch, basically. We're going to draw a card. We're going to go to our main phase. We're going to cast Reanimate targeting the Metamorphosis Fanatic, which is going to bring back Atali with a lifelink encounter, which will trigger. It's going to find us a Soul Ring, and it's going to find us a Eagles of the North, which are 3/3. When it enters, creature can take a +0 and gain first strike into end of turn. That's nice. I don't know if we bother bolting here. We're definitely going to play a land. We might get balanced or wraths, right? So we need to bear that in mind. Play a Blood Crypt, and we'll pass back to our opponent. So we're not going to develop the ball with a Grim Lava Monster or another Goyf because we are hugely ahead anyway. So if they wrath us, they wrath us. If they don't, we're all right. If they do, we can play things in our hand. We'll play Stoneforge Mystic, okay, and search up something. We'll get to see what it is because it's a known card type, so it'll get revealed. Caldra is the biggest fatty to go and get, but they could be some sort of interaction piece like a Jit or similar. They got Caldra, which they can't cast right now. They play Glimmerlens, which is a familiar and artifact. It's going to make them a rebel, and when they attack with at least 2 creatures, including itself, they'll draw a card. And I'm not sure the Fallen, so they got a board state, that's for sure. Now, I could bolt the Stoneforge here, but I'm going to untap and draw with the library first. We draw a Gut Wrench, draw a card. Headliner Scarlet, does that just kill them? No, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 16, 17, and plus bolt. Okay, that does kill them. Cast Headliner Scarlet. She's got haste and she makes all their creatures unable to block. Go to combat and swing. We're going to become the Monarch. And with that on the trigger, I'm just going to bolt them. There you go. See, we are an aggro deck. We just hit with a lifelinking Atali before we did the aggro. Interesting stuff. They are a proper white weenie deck. We've got all our removal. I guess we could bring in Walking Ballista as like another bit of removal if we wanted to. Yeah, I don't dislike that. Let's bring that in, and I guess what would we cut for a Walking Ballista? Yawgmoth's Will. I think Yawgmoth's Will is actually bad without the Rain of Filth and Cabal, which I shouldn't be having it. Our hand is Grim Lava Monster, Reanimate, Carnage Interpreter. I don't hate it. We'll give it a go. So we get the bin stuff off to make Grim do stuff. They play a Mox Sapphire. Okay, they got some power over there. Currency Converter. Okay, a little bit slower than you'd expect from the aggro, like, white weenie decks, but it's still a good card. Draw Bone Crusher Giant. So how Currency Converter works, you pay 2 mana, you tap it to draw a card, then discard a card. And when you discard cards, you may exile them instead of put them in the graveyard, just from any source. And you can tap Currency Converter to put a card exiled with Currency Converter's first line of text into your graveyard. If it's a land, you create a treasure. If it's like a non-land, you create a rogue. So it's like a lot of bodies in a camp. Draw a Walking Ballista. We're going to hold up Bone Crusher Giant to shoot stuff. Sad with the Carnage Interpreter that we discard Reanimate, because we really want to draw that after the fact and Reanimate whatever they end up discarding. They're going to draw a card, discard a card. Put a Plains in the bins, and next turn they can tap this to create a treasure and put them on 1 billion mana. Well, with a land drop, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But you know, that 5's basically 1 billion in Vintage Cube. Tap land from our opponent. We're just going to stomp their face for 2 damage. We are an aggro deck at the end of the day. They took it. We're going to tap a Draw Inquisition. Let's Inquisition them. If we get a really powerful 3-drop into the bin, we can reanimate it. But they would have played it, right, with all this mana. They're going to activate Currency Converter to make a treasure, sure. You're going to make double blue with it and mana drain our Inquisition. Interesting. Make a Walking Ballista for 1. So they are blue-white, more so than the first game suggested. Preview the Walking Ballista. Okay, that's fine. Get in for 1 with our Grim Lava Monster. Take this. Your shields are down. It's Grim Lava Monster combat time. They're going to get 1 mana from mana draining the Inquisition, but it doesn't mean that something in their hand want to be protected, or they just didn't want to give us loads of information, I guess, is the other reason to do what they did. Fairy. Okay. Tick down, bounce the Grim. Sure, we can now like kill that with Walking Ballista. Smuggler's Copter. Sure. Fail Passage. Sure. Down to 2 cards in hand. They are Bant. They got green there as well. Draw another land. Play Walking Ballista X equals 2, so it survives the ping to the Teferi. Shoot Teferi dead. If only we could reanimate a Teferi, that would be sweet, wouldn't it? That'd be super sweet. They have 3 cards in hand, they can't make a rogue off the Currency Converter this turn. They got Palace Jailer though, okay. We just respond to that by shooting them. That's going to draw them quite a few cards though, because we're not going to get, unless we just draw haste off the top, like a Scarlet, for example. That'd be pretty sweet to get the Monarchy back off of them. They can crew the Copter here as well. Yep. Get in for 3, discard a card, draw a card. Good card selection from them. They discard Stoneforge Mystic to put it under the Currency Converter. It's not something we want to reanimate, so then put it in the bin is not very exciting for us in a minute. We take 3 going to 17. They draw a card at end of turn because of the Monarchy. We're going to and draw a Mountain. We'll play a Grim Lava Monster, and then we'll play a Carnage Interpreter. We're going to discard this reanimate, but it's largely bad for us right now. But we'll make 4 treasures, 4 clues, should I say. And we've got access to the Bone Crusher Giant still. They've got a white source here for Path. Okay, grab a Mountain. So 4 cards stored in the tank. Carnage Interpreter is kind of like a Bomat carrier like that. Play an Aether Spark. Oh boy. I'm going to attach it to the Palace Jailer, which makes it a 3/3, which means we can't Grim it away now. That is a problem. And they can activate the Currency Converter to make a rogue to crew the Smuggler's Copter and block our Grim Lava Monster, so we can't even get into the red zone with that. They're going to draw a card off the Monarchy. The Monarchy is doing them a lot of work here. We drew a Tarfire. How else us to kill the Copter or kill the Rogue? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. So we've got Tarfire, this, and a Clue. So we're going to crack a Clue. We drew an Unearth, which is just bad right now. We're going to attack. They're going to say no blocks. We become the Monarch. And they are going to make a 2/2. So the 2/2 will enter. 4 blocks. I'm going to shoot it. That'll make them activate the Smuggler's Copter. I want them to activate the Smuggler's Copter, but now I've tapped that red mana, they might... oh, no, they're going to let us have it. Okay. We'll get it back... I've just cracked a clue under me too. They'll get it back with the Smuggler's Copter quite easily. We drew Bolt, which actually does kill the Smuggler's Copter, so that's some good stuff. Interesting. Obviously, if they crew the Copter, equip the Aether Spark and swing, Bolt doesn't kill it. Urza. Oh boy. They're popping off over there. They're doing all the stuff, and we are not doing all the stuff. Some might argue we did too much of the stuff in the first game, and that's why we're struggling so hard to do the stuff this time around. So put it onto the Rogue token with a +1, and we will just Tarfire that. Waste an Aether Spark activation, doesn't grow it. We can swing and we can trade the Bonecrusher Giant off. I'm fine with that. It should animate the Smuggler's Copter. That's the correct line, I think. Screw it, and it comes. Put Eagles of the North in the bin. Loves to make another Rogue. They get the crown here, more importantly, and we'll draw a card in an step. That Aether Spark can also just draw them 2 cards for -5, right? Which is not great for us. So we need to draw something real good. Exhume, opposite of good. We won't cycle on Earth just yet. Let's go for Cracker Clue. Headliner Scarlet. Okay, so we can get into the red zone, do 8 damage, 9 damage with a Grim Lava Monster. That's quite a lot. With Grim Lava Monster plus a Bolt, we can do like 5 damage. Doesn't even kill the construct that they've got. I think we Headliner here anyway. They get in for 6, 7, and then 3 and 3. That's me dead. We'll attack with a 4/3. They're going to make a body they can't block with. They'll go to 11. We get to draw a card. Now, if Scarlet dies, we can reanimate it with their Exhume, and then Exhume plus this, plus Bolt kills them. That's our line here. So we've got lethal next turn, but of course there's a lot of damage on the other side of the board, so we could just die here. Without Lava Monster tapping to shoot, we actually don't kill them, because we'd only have 10 damage. They play a Nettle Cyst, which equipped the Copter might just kill us. Yeah, that kills us. That's Xaxes. They crew it, they equip it. Yeah, okay. Go to game 2. 3 even, actually. I did win 1. I do believe in myself. So we drew a lot of reanimation spells and never really got to where we needed to be. So we drew out the wrong side of our deck, but that's fine. I think we can still get there. I think that was just a bit of an unfortunate draw from us. Grimmy, Nethergoyf, Plunderer, Tarfire. Generous Plunderer seems quite good until their artifacts. We'll play a Goyf here, and then next turn, if we can Tarfire one of their things dead, Nethergoyf will grow. There is a tension between Lava Mancer and the Nethergoyf, though, in terms of like what it can do. There's a lot of artifacts that makes Plunderer even better. God, I'd love an upgrade right now. Play a Plunderer. No attacks, because we're currently tiny. The Ancient Tomb is working to our advantage as being this, like, pseudo-aggro deck. Now, they have got, like, Talisman, Ancient Tomb, Plains, Mox Emerald, so they can probably cast, like, a 5-drop here. They do that, we're not in the best spot. Unless the 5-drop has 2 toughness, we can just kill it with Tarfire. That'd be pretty clean. That'd be pretty sweet, actually. They play Everflowing Chalice for X equals 2. Jesus Christ. I want to upgrade that so bad. Play a Jit. My goodness. Okay, well, at least we can kill the Rogue they're going to put the Jit on. So, yes. Make a treasure. They get a tap treasure. Cool. We drew Inti, so we're going to go to the main phase. We're going to keep up a Tarfire, so we're going to play Inti. I'm going to go to combat, and we're going to trigger Inti by attacking like this. If they make a token, which they can't, they can block Nethergoyfs. That's fine. Cool. So this is our triggers. Inti. So Generous Plunder is going to shoot them for a bunch, right? It's for each artifact they control, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take 6. Then Inti's going to discard a Swamp, which will trigger Inti to impulsively draw us a card and put a +1/+1 counter on the Nethergoyf and give it trample to the end of turn. We found a mountain off that. So that's a 10-point life swing right there. It was 6 from the Generous Plunderer, 4 from the hits. So they are dead to an attack trigger next turn. We just can't let them hit with the Jit, kill our Plunderer. There's an argument, actually, that we could have put the counter on the Plunderer to keep it, like, Jit safe, in case they have 2 different ways to haste at us. Yeah, there is that argument. So they're casting something with the treasure. It's Urza. The thing is, they are still dead to the trigger, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As long as they can't kill the Generous Plunderer, which they might spin the wheel on Urza to find a source for now because they have 1 card. Now, I probably, actually, almost certainly should have played Grim Lava Mancer last time off this red and kept the treasure up for the Tarfire, because then we would have had access to 4 damage from the activation of Grim plus Tarfire, and that means if 1 creature connects, we would have killed them. But really, we can't rely on a creature connecting because of Jit, I guess. With the Jit trigger on the stack, we could Tarfire Lava Mancer activation. So yeah, not playing the Lava Mancer, I think, was a mistake. I guess it plays around them balancing and or wrathing us. And then activate currency converters to draw a card, discard a card. They discard Smuggler's Copter. Okay, we got there. Generous Plunderer, doming them for 6. Ooh, that was spicy. I haven't really got to like slam a jam with it yet, so I enjoyed that a lot. What a magic card. We've lost the die roll for our wonderful Italia aggro deck, and our opening hand is garbage. Jesus Christ, that's like a jump scare. I think a little bit of poo came out. Okay, one Caustic Bronco, Recurring Nightmare, Italia Lightning Bolt. Sure, we can discard this somehow. Again, it means that we aren't drawing the Italia for the Bronco. We could put Italia back on the bottom of our library, but I think we want it. Our opponent kept a 7. Hex Drinker. Well, I'm glad I got a bolt for that fucking thing. Okay. I guess we wait for them to level it up. We draw a swamp, play a mountain, pass to them. I guess Italia doesn't give too much of a shit about Hex Drinker. I guess it does, really. A 6/6 protection from everything is pretty good. Just punch my microphone. Okay, they're going to get a combat attack. No, they're in the main phase still. Maybe they're going to start leveling this up. I really hope they do. They play a land and level it up. That'd be sweet for us. Soul Ring. Okay. Oh, shit. It's going to go to level 3 immediately, but we can kill it in response. So it levels up once. It levels up twice. It's now level 2. Go on, play the 3rd. Oh, Lightning Bolt says no, baby. We got him. We got him. They spent 4 mana on that. We spent 1. Lightning Bolt still the MVP. Untap, and we're going to draw a Plunderer. Go to our main phase. We're just going to slam a Caustic Bronco here because it's going to draw us cards to get us back into the Wee Mulliganed game. It's saddle 3, so we can't even saddle it with our fucking generous Plunderer, which is a shame. Commercial district from our opponents. They do need red. Got to keep that in mind for giving them treasures. They're going to play a Grim Monolith. That's a lot of fucking mana over there. Jeez. Big green time, I think. We drew a York's Will, which shouldn't be in the deck, but here we are. Go to combat, attack them for 2. We get Dark Confidant for the top card of our library, which is a reanimate. Okay. Not terrible. We can make our own Hex Drinker. Play a Swamp, play a Plunderer. We'll hold on to reanimate right now. Don't need to make our own Hex Drinker just yet. Okay, they tapped 8 mana, which is fucking terrifying. It's a Nissa, okay. We're going to make a Horror, which is a 6/6. We're going to untap, we're just going to make a Treasure because, well, they've got enough mana, right? At this point, we can get the mana. Draw a Swamp. So this means when we attack here, this has got Menace, and it'll dome them for 3, right? Can't redirect damage to the Nissa like you could in the good old days. Now, we can reanimate the Hex Drinker right now, and then, like, pump 4 mana into it, give it protection from instants. Next turn, can put protection from everything, and then it can just kill Nissa with combat. Terrible, is it? I think that might be our game plan. Level it up, level it up, level it up, and then we're going to saddle this with this. Go to combat and attack. Attack Nissa with this, and I guess Nissa with this. Now, whatever we hit off the Bronco, we'll go into our hand and they'll take damage for it. We're going to lose the Bronco. Okay, we dome them for 6 with the Metamorphosis Fanatic there, which is pretty damn sweet. They take 3 from the Generous Plunderer. They're on 7. They block and kill the Caustic Bronco, sure. Next time we make enough treasures just to hard cast the Metamorphosis Fanatic to get back the Bronco, which is pretty hot. Pass to them. They're on 7. They take 4 from the Generous Plunderer next turn. They'll have bodies to block with, though. They're also just dead to the Hex Drinker. We'll have a treasure token, which means you can bump 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana into it. Goldspan Dragon, sure. It makes them more dead to the Generous Plunderer. I guess it makes their mana, their treasures tap for more mana, I guess. So they get in for 10 here. They make another treasure, which do they double sack now. They sack for 2 mana each, thanks to the Goldspan Dragons. They have 5 mana post-combat. We'll go to 8. They're considering sacking the treasures. They sacked 1, then undid it, so I don't know what that means. Oh, off they go again. They cast a Stomp on our Plunderer. I still just untap and make Hex Drinker protection from everything, right? Oh, but it's only 6 damage, not 8 damage. I'm a silly Billy. Oh, okay. Drew got Lava Monsters, which isn't it. So we become a 6/6. We hit them down to 1, and then they can hit us and kill us. Become a 6/6. They can 10 us with just these 2. If we bolt the Bone Crusher Giant by playing York's Will, and then play a Grim Lava Monster, we'll have 2 blockers, a dead Bone Crusher. That's our only line, and it's not a very good one. Yeah, we take 2 and go to 6 here. Make a red. Cast this. Next turn, we block 2 things, take 4. Now, we're pretty dead. We're pretty dead. It's very close. It's very close. The next card we drew was a Firebolt, so we would have still been dead. Okay. Close game. I like it. I like it. I think Ballista's better than York's Will, again, in that same scenario. We on the play this time round? Yeah. Library and Entomb. Let's do it. No red source for the Grim, but we'll find one. We'll find one. Should play Library, pass back to them. We're going to be, like, playing slow, essentially, which is not great for the aggro plan, but it's perfectly fine for the make an Atali plan, basically. Soaring from them, so they're not having a slow start. Woof. We drop into a Inquisition. We'll go to our main phase, draw another card, find a mountain. We're going to go Swamp, Inquisition them. The hand is Trumpeting Carnosaur, 3 lands, and a Keen-Eyed Curator. We'll get rid of the Keen-Eyed Curator, so we now have access to our reanimation plan. They drew an Ulvenwald Oddity. This is fine. I say this, it's a legitimate clock, and we don't really have a way to deal with that right now. We're going to drop to 7. We're going to drop to 8. Cool. Play a mountain. I think we just slam a Grim here. We still have enough ways to discard cards out of our hand, I think, is the problem. They get in for 4. We ain't blocking. We're going to go to 12. We know the hand is Mountain, Trumpeting Carnosaur, and 1 other card. And, of course, they can discard the Trumpeting Carnosaur to kill our Grim Lava Monster if they want to. Or they can just cast next turn for Discover 5. Sure. We drew a Firebolt. Go draw a card off Alexandria. Find recurring nightmares. So we go Fireball, activate Grim Lava Monster. Those two things together kill the Oddity. And then we just got to deal with Trumpeting Carnosaur on the following turn. Which we can do. We can like entomb recurring nightmare stuff back. It's not terrible. Firebolt this. Lava Monster this. And then we can go Entomb in the end step. We get a Metamorphosis Fanatic. We can then Recurring Nightmare the Grim Lava Monster a way to get the Fanatic back, to get the Lava Monster back. Then we have like a Lava Monster of Lifelink, which is something. They're going to slam Trumpeting Carnosaur. We're just going to hope the Discover 5 is just very bad, basically. Okay. That's worse. They get to kill our library. They've kicked it as well, which means they get to get a land. Well, they searched for land anyway. The kicker is blow up our fucking library. Okay, well, library's out of commission now. This is fine. Everything is fine. Cool. We're going to Entomb now. Crabomination's probably better than the Metamorphosis Fanatic, I think. All right. It's time to start doing stuff. If we can get the Trumpeting Carnosaur out of their hand with this, that'll be, like, hit it with a Crabomination. That would be sweet. Recurring Nightmare. We're going to activate. We're going to get Crabomination. We're going to sack Lava Monster. We're going to trigger. We're going to hit all gas, no brakes. We're going to cast the Trumpeting Carnosaur. We're going to hit Cabal Ritual, which will cast without paying his mana cost. Make 3 black. Oh, we only get one of the 3. Carnosaur's pretty good. Carnosaur's pretty. Play Recurring Nightmares. It got a card out of the hand as well, so they only have 1 card in hand right now, which is very good for us. So we now have 5-5 and a 7-6. They have a 3-3 and 1 card in hand. Got 2 cards in hand upon the draw. Hit the Carnosaur was great. The Cabal Ritual was a bit shit, but getting into the bin is fine for when we like inevitably make a Lava Monster later. Play the Recurring Nightmare out does make it like destroyable with an effect. So really that is dangerous, but I also want to use the mana, so that might be greedy. We'll soon see. They're going to play an 8-8 Trampler. Okay, so now we want to like Recurring Nightmare the Crabomination away from the Grim Lava Monster and then replay it, but we need to draw Soul Ring to do that. We did not, but we drew a discard out there, which is kind of just as good, honestly. So red for this, and then activate this. So red and 2 black. We'll discard Black Cleave Cliffs and Atali. Draw 2 swamps. We're then going to sacrifice a creature to get back Atali. It's going to be Crabomination, maybe? Because then we can recur the Crabomination. Let's get rid of the Grixis Goblin for now and get good blockers. Atali ETBs and triggers. We're going to cast their Nissa. Basically, we're doing play with their stuff because our deck is just a weird aggro pile. +1 feature Forest to control and trample. Huh. Not the best. Okay, let's go. We can blow up the Soul Ring, or we can just make an 8-8. I think an 8-8 is pretty good here. All right, here's an 8-8. Pass back to our opponent. We're loving life over here. We've got like so many things in play by them, at least 2. Next time we can play Recurring Nightmare, sack Crabomination to get something back, replay it, sack the thing we got back to get Crabomination. Annoyingly, it exiled the Uvenwald Oddity, and that stays exiled, so it doesn't go back to the graveyard, which is good for like hating out stuff in their yard and such. But it doesn't give us access to it again next turn, so we'll probably just get a Keen-Eyed Curator or a Forest. They attack with the 8-8. We're going to block with the 8-8. Yeah, okay, then we're going to sideboarding. Sweet! Our deck did a very interesting and cool load of things there. We've won it back. Same scenario again. Yeah. Okay, we've got Grease French, Goblin, and Inti, so we've got like an aggressive start, and then that'll hopefully dig us into gas. We've got Unearth as well, so we even discard bodies to get value out of the Unearth. What do you mean by most milkable man in esports entertainment? Whoa! Well, I'm sure they can guess. That's a Pilgrim. Drew Atali. Go Grease Wrench Goblin. So Inti triggers off all discards, so when we discard the Grease Wrench Goblin later on, we will get to impulsively draw twice off of her, which is pretty good. Of course, we're using 3 mana to do it, so it's quite hard because we don't have the mana. Fucking hell. Guts, very strong. Very, very strong. Okay. Black Cleave Cliffs. Black Red Inti. Go to combat. Attack. Trigger Inti. We're going to discard a mountain. We're going to go ahead and put a counter here. We probably should have discarded the Atali, but I kind of don't want to do it when we're shielded down with no way to reanimate it because they might have something to hit, to eat it out of the graveyard. Judas Ponder goes into exile. We're going to hit him for 3 here. Guts probably sacking that Pilgrim to hit us with a 4-1 Menacer next turn. Walking Ballista would have been good in their deck, never mind. So this turn when we've got mana up on the attack, I'd probably discard the Atali and hope to hit Reanimate or Exhume. And even then, like post-combat, we can pay 3 into the Grease Wrench to discard 2 more cards and just try and cycle through our deck to hit both of Impulsive Draw and Normal Draw to find the Reanimate or the Exhume. Or even the Death or whatever it's called. Do we put that in post-board? Yeah, this should be in the deck. I'm just bad at Magic. Waterlogged Grove from our opponent. They got all colours of mana over there except for black. They got a blue-green land, a red-green land, a little green pilgrim, a pilgrim that makes white. They are loving life over there. Keen-Eyed Curator is a pain in my ass. because that is graveyard hate for the Italia. So I'm glad I didn't just slam Italia into the graveyard there. Okay, reanimation plan's offline until we draw a burn spell for this, a bolt, for example. So we're now digging for, Stomp doesn't kill it, and neither does Firebolt, so we're just on Bolt. Do we get Dismember as well? I feel like we got Dismember. I might have taken that in a different draft this morning when I was drafting on Cube Cobra, because I'm draft mad right now. They're thinking about going to combat. They'd have to sack the Pilgrim or the Keen-Eyed Curator to make a skeleton. Yeah, they're going to sack the Pilgrim to make a skeleton. We'll take 4 here. We drew a Swamp. We'll attack with Inti and Grease Wrench here. We'll trigger Inti. We will discard a Swamp or a Mountain. Let's do a Mountain. We'll trigger a counter on Inti to make her into a 3/3. We'll impulsively find a Swamp, which we'll play post-combat. So there's 6 damage here. I mean, if they play anything next to them, make another skeleton, they can hit us back for a minimum of 8. It's a lot. It's a lot of damage. Like, killing the Keen-Eyed Curator to enable the Italia might not even be the line. We might have to kill Gut if we find a Bolt, if we cycle this Unearth in a second. So we hit them for 6, they go to 10. We play the Swamp. Guess I'm cycling the Unearth here, because we've got, like, very little else to do other than exhausting this. We impulsively find Firebolt, which will kill the Gut. We draw off the Unearth the Swamp. So we're going to cast this, kill this. Changes the clocks a little bit, which is good. Gets rid of this 4/1 skeletal bollocks that we're dealing with. Keen-Eyed Curator is a really, really good magic and a really interesting bit of design, because it is obviously like a power crept Scooz, but it's not, because it doesn't gain you any life. It's inherently a 3/3 before it's a 2/2, so there's a power creep element there where you can't kill it with like 2 mana, 2 damage spells that we just saw there with Firebolt. But on top of all of that, like, it is double green, and it doesn't grow with each activation. It grows once you get 4 card types. So it does just work in a different space to Scooz. Like, Scooz is probably better against aggro decks, and also decks that just want to splash green as opposed to being like heavy green. I like it. I like it a lot. Huatley will grab them a land. If they play that, oh god, they won't tap out though. They'll play it when they. Huatley's also a 2/3. This leaves them mana up, so we can't Atali here. They'll attack for 7. Well, we're racing them quite effectively, to be fair. We drew a Swamp. Okay, well, pretty bad draws. We're going to go to combat and attack. We'll attack like this. We'll trigger Inti, discard a Swamp, trigger Inti, put a counter on this bad boy over here. So it's now 4/3. They're actually dead on board if they don't block, because it's 7, 8, 9 if we... Well, we found the reanimate. So how do they block is the question, I guess. Now, we can reanimate, like, the Avacyn's Pilgrim, which would be, like, 1 black mana, 1 life loss, and give us a block. That's pretty good. This is 4 damage. If I activate the exhaust, it's 5, 6 damage, taking them to 3. Meaning they're going to need 2 blockers next turn, right? Yep. Let's do it. Discard 2 cards. We're going to discard 2 lands. Swamp. I still feel like this will become a 7/7. We drew Bone Crusher Giant, which doesn't do much. We're going to impulsively draw a Swamp. We don't have the red mana for the Grimlarve Monster post-combat. We only have Swamps. Huatley dies here. They take 5 going to 4. And then we play Swamp, cast Reanimate, and we get back Huatley going to 6. And then we just die if they have a removal spell. If we get back the Pilgrim going to 7, we die if they have we die to any removal spell. I guess going to 6 means we're dead to any 2 damage burn spell as well, if they had a Firebolt in their deck alongside the skeleton. Does this gain trample? Oh, we're also dead if they just eat that here, aren't we? Although we aren't dead if they can't get the Keen-Eyed Curator to be a 7/7, which at the moment is creature, sorcery, and land. They can't currently grow the Keen-Eyed Curator to be a 7/7. There's only 3 types permanents amongst like exile and graveyard. That's 2 under it. They need to find 2 more types. They have Galvanic Discharge. We're dead. Yeah, okay. We should have gone for the 1 mana, the 1/1, but then we would have took 7. I would have been on 1. Yeah, if I'd gone for the Pilgrim, I would have been on 1. That was greedy. Because I was thinking they could grow this at all times. I guess Galvanic Discharge is an instance. They could have grown it, actually. Yeah, we were dead. Either way, we were dead. Okay, we didn't quite get it that time, but we gave it a good go. Look at the race. Look how close it was. Our deck was doing cool things. They just, unfortunately, they had this, and we had no way to kill it. If we just found some removal spells for it, then that would have been a whole different game, right? Because we would have made the Atali with the Reanimate. Oh well, live and learn. On to the next one. Okay, we've got Unearth and we've got Entomb. So that's something. It's not quite where we want to be, but Caustic Bronco will carry us. I believe in the horse, snake, mount, dog. Why do I think it's a dog? Our opponent cracks a black-red fetch. Badlands from our opponent. Thoughtseize. I guess they take the Entomb is my guess, because they don't want us to like have a toolbox available to us. Taking the Caustic Bronco is bad because we can just unearth it. That is a 2-for-1 in many ways, but the Entomb is the easy. Drew Tarfire. Play a swamp that they know about and pass back the turn. Probably should have held up Tarfire, to be honest. In case they play a creature we want to kill here, and then we could untap and play Caustic Bronco. That was a mistake. Never punished. They played nothing. We drew Reanimate, which would have been good with the Entomb, but here we are. We play the Bronco. Probably got a removal spell for it here. They didn't play a body, so I'm assuming removal. No removal, no body. Just a handful of 3-drops and upwards, I guess. And a Faithless Looting. Oh, hopefully they dump a fatty and don't reanimate it and we untap and reanimate it. That'd be hot. That'd be so good. Go on, put Grizzleband in the bin and pass back to us, opponent. Don't you worry, opponent. We got this. Snuff Out and Watery Grave went into the bin. It showed us a temporary order list, which tells us that graveyard order matters, which means they've got Shallow Grave in their deck. That is a Magic the Gathering Online tell right there. They are on Reanimator, so yeah, we got to be careful about putting things in our bin for them to reanimate. We're going to go to combat and attack. We probably should have waited to draw a card off this, because if we draw a land, we could have played it and gave them less information, but they know about the swamps anyway. So we take no damage with the Blood Crypt, hit them down to 15. We can cycle the Unearth in their turn. We can Tarfire a stupid little dork, a stupid little idiot, a little 2-toughness dickhead. Mox Sapphire from our opponent. Must be nice having power, opponent. Jeez. Legion Extruder. That's going to kill our Bronco. We're going to unearth our Bronco to get it back. Bronco is dead. Bronco is down. I repeat, Bronco is down. They can sack their Sapphire to make a 3/3 out of this if they wanted to. We're just going to go swamp that they know about, unearth the Bronco. Pass back to them. If we played a mountain, we could get that Blood Crusher Stomp plus Tarfire. That would have been pretty sweet. It's very silly of me, actually. Will they make a 3/3? They did not make a 3/3. They value their Mox Sapphire as a mana rock more than they do having a 3/3 blocker right now. Their deck is 1,000,001 colours. Goldspan Dragon, which we could have killed and given them a shit ton of treasure for doing so if we'd kept our mana up properly. We get hit for 4, sure. What if I'm meant to kill that and reanimate it? Maybe that's what I'm meant to do here. This is probably bad, but I'm not doing much else. You can have a treasure. The problem with the treasures is that they allow Legion Extruder to make a lot of fucking golems. That's the issue. Tarfire this. If it dies, they don't need a double mana. They want to sack one for 2 mana now and then use an Extruder to make a golem out of them is what they probably want to do if they're out of resources. They did not, so they're down. Okay. I'm going to reanimate Goldspan Dragon, which is 4. 5 life, actually. Then we're going to go to combat. If we reveal Atali, I think we're dead. Well, YOLO, isn't it, really? Don't reveal Atali, please. Should we make a treasure? Because then they just make a golem and kill us if we reveal Atali, right? 3. Actually, reveal live on 1. We're going to make a 3/3 golem, sure. We reveal Exhume. They block our Bronco. Take 4 to 11 themselves. And then we're going to cast this with double red and a black. We could Exhume here to get the Bronco back. No, would that... is that better? We'll cast this. It might have been, because then we can, like, play the Bone Crusher Giant next turn and saddle the Bronco, and then we can, like, dome them for Atali. They've got Headliner Scarlet, so we can't block this turn. So we're taking 7. Sure. What can we draw to kill them here? They're taking 6, sorry, so we go 3. Okay, so we've got 2 blockers in play right now. We can Exhume another blocker as well. We draw Inquisition, which doesn't do anything. The Extruder needs to sacrifice another artifact, and they have 2 mana, so they can't make another golem right now. So we're going to Exhume. They'll get an impulsive draw off of the Headliner Scarlet next turn. I guess if we get him for 4, we have 2 blocks. Both our things die, one of their things survives. If we hold back, we have multiple blocks that kills their stuff. 5 mana in play right now. Second main, let's play a Blood Crypt tapped. This Inquisition's looking pretty bad here. They're going to exile a card. They exile... oh, it's face down? Oh, shit. We don't even know if we're dead to Bolt right now. That's pretty decent. Duress. Okay, so their last guy's Duress. It's our Inquisition. Good. That treasure can become a golem now. Tribal Flames. Oh, they drew Tribal Flames. Okay. Which was black, red, white. It was exactly 3 damage. Okay. Right. So they are actually very aggressive, which is absolutely fine. It's good to know, right? So Walking Ballista over the shitty Yorksville that I keep leaving in the deck. Put the Fire Blast in by accident. Here's a Walking Bullet. We're going to go first. We've got... a Recurring Nightmare, Carnage Interpreter. Yeah, this seems pretty decent. We can go turn 1, Soul Ring Swamp. Turn 2, Recurring Nightmare. Play a Carnage Interpreter if we don't draw the red source that we need. Yeah, this is all good. Right, here's a Swamp. Here's a Soul Ring. Pass to our opponent. If we draw Itali or Crab Abomination next turn, we can dump them with Carnage Interpreter, which is fucking golden for me. We drew Nethergoyf, which certainly is a magic card. Let's play Recurring Nightmare, play Nethergoyf, and next time we slam Carnage Interpreter, just like empty our hand out. We can start like looping creatures round with the Recurring Nightmare, like swapping Carnage Interpreter for the Greasefence Goblin, just being dig through our deck if we need to by making loads of treasures. Not treasures, sorry, clues. We can also, like, if we hit a land drop too, we can dismember that creature and then play the Carnage Interpreter. Only if we hit a land drop though. Oh no, we can flip mana for Soul Ring and pay 4 life. We can still do that. Pentad Prism, okay, for a Duress. Okay, let's take our Dismember. What doesn't kill the Tarmogoyf makes it grow, am I right? We drew a Black Cleave Cliffs, pretty sweet. So we can just like slam everything into play. Here's a Greasefence Goblin, and there's a Carnage Interpreter. It's so funny that we got Carnage Interpreter and a fucking Library of Alexandria in the same deck. It's just such like a terrible pile of magic cards. They're going to untap now, hit a land drop, and have 4 mana. If they play their Mox, they have 5 mana. If they play their Mox and cost, I think they had Soul Ring as well. Was that the last round opponent? I can't even remember. Everything's blowing into 1. But either way, there's a chance they have just 1 billion mana. We have a billion mana too. We're going to namely use it to crack clues. Grease French Goblin allows us to discard something good like, oh my Jesus Christ. When I said a million mana, I didn't mean that cast Seething Song. Jesus fucking. 5 mana here off of 2 lands and a Pent-Up Prism. Is this just going to be Goldspan Dragon? Oh, they scoop it up. They don't even want to see anymore. So next time we were drawing Atali. Oh, we were going to discard to this. Activate Recurring Nightmare and live the fucking dream. Okay. That was sad. But I'll take a win. But that was sad, right? Sad Vince. So we know they are like a fucking Seething Song Carnage Tyrant deck. This hand looks exceptionally fair. Fuck are we doing this Crab Abomination, you know? Is this too fair? I think this is too fair. I do like Caustic Bronco though. Let's mulligan. All right. Soul Ring, Nethergoyf. This is kind of shit too. This is kind of real bad actually. We'll keep it instead of going to a 5. That might be a mistake. We'll put Atali on the bottom. Which means we're never drawing Atali this game. That's fine though. If they dress us here or Thoughtseize us and take the Soul Ring, we are fucked. We are so fucked. Please don't do that, opponent. Inti. Okay. Well, arguably more brutal, but at least we get to cast stuff. Okay, so Swamp, Soul Ring. If we hit a land drop, we get to play Walking Ballista for 2. That won't kill Inti, because Inti will attack this turn, discard a thing, and grow. They could discard a thing, pass to us, we rip Reanimate off the top, play a Walking Ballista for 2, and Reanimate their fatty. That could be a pretty golden age of bullshit. They attack with Inti, they trigger her, they're going to discard a card. They discard a Zerator Proving Grounds. That is not a fatty for us to reanimate if we rip Reanimate. They exile a Thoughtseize. Uh-oh. Spaghetti-o. So we take 3, go into 17. They almost certainly take the Walking Ballista from us with the Thoughtseize, I think. Although taking the Walking Ballista does make us Nethergoyf into a 2-3. Also, the Metamorphosis Fanatic kind of reanimates anything but the Walking Ballista. So they want to probably avoid that scenario as well. Bonecrusher Giant and Lava Manta looking particularly bad in our hand, not only because we have no access to red sources, but because they just don't interact with Inti now that she's swung and become a 3-3. Or they do interact, but we have to double up, which is just fucking rough. We will both be on 17 though. They took the Nethergoyf. Interesting. They play a land, down to 2 lands and cards in hand. They play a Sylvan Library. Hot diggity fucking damn over there. We draw a Mountain, so we can go like Walking Ballista for 1, Stomp, Ping. Yep. Okay. I was saying Bonecrusher is bad, but when you draw the Mountain off the top, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. I think they pay a little life to keep their cards in hand. Just to treat Sylvan Library like a fucking Library of Alexandria. It's just fucking fire blast you in the face for each card you get off of it. That's what I do. But I'm also both bad at Magic and have no respect for my own well-being. They went to 9. They kept both cards. They too also like card drugs. Sylvan Library is like crack, right? That's just what it is. The beginning of combat now, we're going to go with Badoom, and then we're going to remove and Badoom. It's terrible. It's like a 1.5 cards for 1, and they like turned a land into a Thoughtseize last turn as well, so particularly bad. If we hit Mountain, we can go Grimmy and Bonecrusher. If we hit land, one of our land, we have access to Metamorphosis Fanatic as well down the line. Pent-Up Prism for 2. It's always for 2, but they put 2 colours into it. That's what I'm going to famously loot, then we'll go draw Reanimate. Is it going to happen? If I draw Reanimate, I'm just casting their fucking... They put Gut into the bin. Okay, well, might reanimate that. Might fuck about and reanimate that. We've got Entomb. That sets up Metamorphosis Fanatic to get back Atali, so that's something. Let's cast a 4-3, which when they're on 9, pretty good. We can Entomb at the end of their turn, which shuffles our library, gets the Atali into the bin. It's bad if they have reanimate, but I'm not so convinced they do now, because their deck is 5-color everything. I guess it's 5-color domain, right? They're being aggressive with domain, and they might have reanimation spells on top of that. They are base red-black, I think, similar to us. He says, staring down the Sylvan Library on the other side of the board. The upside of entombing the Atali, it means we just won't fucking draw it. Well, that's the bottom of our library, so we know we won't draw it. Maybe that's a shit idea. Trumpeting Carnosaur, Discover 5. What do they hit? I was hoping they'd hit Exhume. That would have been sick. Okay. Snuff out my Giant. They'll take 2 to do this. We'll go Entomb. Right. Can we hit some land drops, please? Or just action. I'll take action spells too, honestly. They're on 7, we're on 17. They have a 7/6 in play. We hit a land. That is good. We'll play Grimlife Manta. We can pay 3 mana and exile any number of other cards from graveyards. That number needs to be 4 more card types. We can go creature, sorcery, artifact, and yeah, it's not very good. Okay, 1 more land. That's all we need. We get to play an Atali. I wonder if Crab Abomination was better. Atali gets you 2 cards, where Crab Abomination gets you 1 out of the 3 zones, I guess. Both are incredibly fun Magic. God, I have a good time resolving either of those cards. Your opponent often doesn't. That's the brutal part of it, I guess. Headliner Scarlet means we ain't blocking, which means we're taking 11. Okay. 11 does leave us with enough life to be able to block the No, we actually died to the Trumpeting Carnosaur. It's land drop or death, I think. That's not a land drop. It's not a land drop. It does keep us alive. We get a 4/5 out of it. No attacks. We're going to be blocking a Headliner Scarlet and a Trumpeting Carnosaur and trying to live here. They impulsively get a face down card. I don't know why I keep trying to read the face down card from Scarlet. It's really dumb. They're looking at 4 entire cards here. That's a lot. It's a lot. Okay, it's combat time from our opponent. So the 7/6 has trample. So blocking with a Grim Lava Monster puts us to 6. If we block the Headliner Scarlet with another Nethergoyf, keeping the Nethergoyf alive, we're gonna get to shoot them for 2 and then maybe kill them. Like there's a weird world here, right? But if they have Tribal Flames, we just die. So if we block and they have Tribal Flames, we block here, we take 2 and get a 5. And Tribal Flames hits us for 1, 2, 3, 4 anyway. 4, 5, 6. If we do 1 more damage to them, if we put 1 more card type in the bin with Nethergoyf, we get to kill them. Like I'm playing to win, not to just not die, right? If we do 2 damage to them here, it shrinks our Nethergoyf. So actually, no, that doesn't actually work how I want it to. Okay. We take 6. We're on 1. Fuck. Okay, we're dead. Was the next card a land for Metamorphosis? No. Okay, so we were never casting Metamorphosis Fnatic anyway. Maybe it's a bad hand. Either way, I think our deck was really fun and interesting. It wasn't particularly good, as you noticed, but all the games were incredibly close as well. Like we were on the cusp of just doing the incredibly brutal thing that took the game, or it was just 1 turn of swinging from it, which I think is a good testament to how fun the environment can be when you kind of know a little bit about what you're doing and your opponent knows what they're doing. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you want to see more Vintage Cube and just Cube content in general on the channel, please support by commenting down below and letting me know. Join the Patreon and get involved with the Pack 1 Pick 1s and the Cube Cobra conversations around the cubes that I'm building right now. My Cube Cobra link is also in the description to this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Ta-ta for now.